Today, we are going to show you how to access a given asset's asset page and how you can manipulate, access, view, edit all the data associated with that asset. So to start, we need to access the asset page. There are multiple ways you can do this, but the most common way that you're going to access your asset pages is through the inventory. So the first step is to navigate to the inventory by clicking on inventory in the side panel. Once you are on the inventory page, you need to find the specific asset that you want to view or edit. So in this case, I'm looking for a particular Z450. So let me search Z450. I have a bunch of Z450s to access. Let's jump into just any one of these. Pick one at random. Let's go with this one. Once you click into a specific asset from your inventory, you are dropped into the asset page. The asset page is divided into two sections. You have the side panel where you have all of the assets related data and tags and statuses. And then you have the asset history on the right side. And below it, you have all of the related objects. So this is your related tickets, tasks, resources, etc. Now in the side panel, again, you have a few different areas. So at the top, we have your statuses. This is your asset status, which you can edit, obviously, along with your lifecycle status and warranty that Beam automatically updates for you based on our product matching algorithm. At the top of the side panel, you have your pinned data section where you can pin data that you frequently reference when you are managing your assets. So over here, I have a couple of things pinned: model number, manufacturer, some basic stuff, assignee. For some of this stuff like assignee, I can actually edit it from this pin data section by clicking on the value. Below that, we have the tags associated with this asset. Again, you can edit it over here by clicking the overflow menu and manage tags. Here I can remove a tag. I can add a tag. Let's find a tag that I can add. Let's say truck to hit confirm. My tags get updated over here. I can add or attach photos over here if I want to. And then, of course, at the bottom, these three tabs, the internal data, and product specs tab, I can click into any one of them to access a comprehensive list of that sort of data. Once I'm actually in one of these lists, so let's say I want to pin one of these pieces of data. Let's say I want to pin, what do we not have in our pin section? Let's say I want to pin vendor. I can click on the overflow menu and click pin vendor. And then when I scroll back up to my pin data, you can see that the vendor field is now pinned over here. Moving on to the right side of the screen, the asset history, super useful if you want to look back in an asset's history to figure out where it's been, who's touched it, what locations it's been at. If you're especially useful when you're trying to troubleshoot an issue with the asset and you want to see what its history is, whether it's maybe had that same issue in the past. So your asset history at the top, running list of every update that's ever been made to that asset, whether it's adding a tag, whether it's a comment someone's left, whether it's a location change. Below that, we have all the tickets related to your asset. So this asset just has one ticket that I can click into to access its details. It's a test ticket. I can click on the plus button in the top right to either relate this to an existing ticket, or I can create a new ticket from scratch by clicking on create a new ticket over here. Below that, tasks, similar. I have a list of the 3 tasks related to this. I can click into each one of these tasks to get details on them, or I can relate the asset to either an existing task, or I can relate it to a new task by clicking create new task. I'm going to discard these changes. Don't want to create a new task over here. And then below tasks, we have, this is the data that our algorithm pulls from the manufacturer website. So these are your resources, your documents, your firmware and software updates. And then we'll get to contacts in a bit. So resources, you can customize this. You can add your own resources, but we try to do a comprehensive job of pulling all the related resources related to your assets for you so that you can save some time. Similarly, with documents, we're pulling in your manuals, your brochures, anything that you might need over the course of owning an asset. And then, of course, your firmware, software, and security updates right at the bottom over here. You can also relate your assets to contacts that you might have to get in touch with over the course of owning an asset. Think account managers at the manufacturer or the vendor, um, customer service representatives or customer service lines. You can add those over here in the contact section just so that you have a single resource for anyone who comes in who needs to get in touch with, say, someone from the vendor or the manufacturer. And that's pretty much it. That's an overview of the asset page. This is your go-to page if you want to find all information related to a specific asset in your inventory. As with all of these tutorials, the best way to learn how to use the asset page and what actually lives on the asset page is to go to your inventory, open up an asset page, and explore it for yourselves.